That's Kat.
That's Ian.
And this is 404.
Script not found.
That's perfect. Like a terrible voice message. I love it.
Wow.
So we're joined today by Steve Guillman, Cold Open. Steve is a partner sales leader for U.S. distribution here at Cisco. More notably, Steve, you're the father of Cisco 360.
Yes. Program owner, program designer, creator, and all things in between.
So if anyone has any comments, thoughts, ideas around it, just reach out to Steve. I can share his email after this. I've got my pin right here for it, ready to go.
Appreciate it. Kat, backstory on that. We were at an event back in September, and Ian asked a question to the partners about what they thought of 360, and everybody just pointed at me like, Steve, what's your opinion? And one of the partners goes, "Oh, you must be the program owner." And after that, it was all downhill. Everything became my responsibility. This is all mine. Yeah.
But for me, like I've said this, you're truly the first person that I've heard be able to explain it like in layman's terms that made sense from like a benefit standpoint, which is kind of what the show is. So I thought you'd be perfect to bring on because I think there's a lot of chatter in general, and like we could use some information on like partner programs. I think the landscape is changing. Let's start with like obviously an industry-wide view of partner programs and kind of like where they were and where you see it going from like the two-tier lens.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Ian. So, partners use vendor programs in a number of different ways, right? And kind of all vendors do it differently based upon maybe dollars in play or, how they want to reward or incent partner margin, right? So some vendors will put it all on the front end, right? Like your discount is X, and if you have a deal registration, your discount is X plus Y, and that's it. So you make your living off the front end. Front end pricings are great at the rep level, right? Because the rep has more discount and therefore they can make more money on the individual transaction. Doesn't necessarily benefit the partner's business as a whole. Whereas, vendors such as Cisco, we have both, right? So we have front end deal registration discounts that are available to our partners and other variable, kind of stacking on top of that, technology incentives, take back incentives that our partner reps can use to be competitive at the street. And then on the back end of that, based upon what our partners sell, how specialized they are, the technologies they invest heavily in from a certification, specialization perspective, we offer incremental rebates to the business on the back end. And most vendors do it that way as well, certainly the larger ones that we tend to compete directly with. And then once those dollars hit the business to the partner business owner, what they choose to do with that is totally up to them, right? So some partners will reinvest it entirely back into the business in terms of headcount, marketing demand generation, right? Sales promotion, sales incentives. And we love it when they do that because they're using Cisco dollars that have incrementally impacted the profitability that they're reinvesting to drive more Cisco growth. We love that. Some partners take it, put it right to the bottom line, and that helps them maintain a healthy, profitable business. And that's great as well. And then some will actually carve it up at the end, look at it at the individual deal level and provide incentives to their sales teams for driving those opportunities, those sales. And, all of those are equally fine just based upon each individual partner's kind of business structure and setup. Obviously, as a manufacturer and a vendor, whether it's us or any of our competitors, we love it when those dollars help them reinvest and grow and continue to scale their practice out. So, regardless of how a vendor does the rebate and partner program, they're critical to the partner's success because that's obviously how they make the most money, right? Resell is great, but if they're not having incremental discounts or price protections, those margins on the transaction become very thin, very hard to be successful, very hard to be sustainable. And honestly, it's very hard to be excited about it when you're competing for maybe 1 point, 2 points
Right.
at the transaction level, and you're just not wanting to work with that manufacturer. So in my experience working with multiple vendors in my career, kind of best in class is having a upfront program that helps you be competitive at the street, and then having a back end program that rewards the partner's business for continued success.
Yeah. And I think, in a past life, I worked in distribution. I feel like everyone who worked in distribution had the same
The
pipe
best ones.
dream of like, I should go start a partner. That's where all the money is. Turns out there's a lot of math involved in that.
Lot of
Yeah, and that's
spreadsheets.
not what I'm good at, so it's why I'm here now, talking to a microphone. But I think that's kind of, to me, we can get into, like, Cisco 360 as a whole, but it seems like it's a lot more, like, cut and dry than leaving and almost being more, I don't know, like, objective than subjective as terms of a program of like, "Hey, if you do this, you get this score, and this is what you get back from this," which to me is a lot cleaner than, like, just stacking the way it was before. Is that part of what went into this, do you think?
Yeah, so we'll get into the 360 specifics here probably in a couple of minutes, but I think where you're going there, Ian, is kind of one of the limitations of the programs, right? So when you're Cisco and you've got, however many thousands of partners across the world and you want them all to be successful, you have to build multiple programs to kind of meet each individual partner group kind of where they are with your business, right? So you end up having multiple programs with multiple different, level barriers of entry for lack of a better term, different payout structures, different motions around is it paid on this versus it paid out on that. And the programs then become very complex to manage and hard to understand. What are the criteria to enter this? What are the criteria to receive payment on that? What's the number that I got to get to? Because a lot of times, like the numbers are kind of arbitrarily set at a market level. And while the partner may be doing phenomenal work in driving growth, that's exponential for them. Maybe it's not big enough in comparative to the market, so they can never really achieve those numbers. And it's kind of like, well, I don't really care about your programs anymore, Steve, because I can't reach them all. I'm not big enough, or I don't have enough people. And you never really are able to help the partners have a complete profitability story with Cisco because they choose not to participate. And to me, that's one of the exciting things about 360 is, yes, it's new. Yes, there's math and it's a different way to evaluate the business, but a partner's performance and their goals and their measurements, they're based upon the partner's success, right? So if your number in, August of next year is based upon your number in August of this year, you as a business owner can plan for that, forecast that out, look at your pipeline, look at your sales activity and know, hey, I have a chance to hit this or I have a chance to not hit this. If I'm on the I have a chance to not hit this, I need to be doing a higher level of inspection with my sales team, with my engineering team, my project management delivery team to understand how do we go and create opportunity and pipeline to give us a better chance to hit those metrics. And so I love it, when I'm gold, as a salesperson, I'm gold against what I did previous
Right.
cycles. So my
It's
goal on
year-over-year
my
comps.
plus whatever the growth expectation is. And for us to put our partners in that same place where, your goal is set based upon your business, your success, and you're going to get a growth expectation on top of that. But it's much easier to plan for, much easier to be to attain and to give the partners a chance to really lean into this program and see a lot of success. And that's just one of the buckets on the performance piece. And we get into, customer life cycle, software usage and adoption. We get into skill sets, capabilities, so that it really helps the partners. So there's a lot of different components to this one, but it's taken all the, disparate partner programs that we had and really bringing them together in a more concise motion to make it easier for our partners to ultimately manage their Cisco practice.
I have Ian explain things to me like I am five. And let me be clear, I do know what partner marketing is. But for those that don't, that are listening, can you explain partner marketing to me like I'm five? Or partner sales in general, just the partner sales process.
Okay, so I was like asking me a marketing question.
No, no,
I'm in the
no.
wrong
Like,
room.
are you meaning, like, the
So
channel? Like,
Yeah, the channel.
alright. Go ahead,
Marketing
Steve.
and
I
yeah,
always
sales
use
so
live in
grocery
that
stores.
channel.
yeah, so just to make I'm clear, not what I do, but what our partners do for Cisco, Cat, is that correct?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So our partners are they help us scale to reach more customers, right? So, they invest people, they invest in time, energy to get certified and become specialized on how to sell and deliver and deploy and manage our Cisco solutions to hundreds and thousands of customers across the world. So, Cisco, we have 5,000 salespeople globally, which is massive. We have about 300,000 partner sellers, right, across the world that help us reach customers in all countries and all places where Cisco maybe can't be. So they represent us when we're not in the room is I think ultimately what our partners do.
I always think about it,
Yeah.
Cat, like a grocery store. Like,
You're gonna
could you go buy Barilla pasta on your own direct from Barilla? I don't know. But like Barilla uses a grocery store to scale to the millions of
Yeah,
customers who are buying it instead. So our partners are
good
the
enough.
grocery store in this analogy.
I was about to make fun of you. That was an incredible analogy, and I don't have anything negative to say, but I was going to. Okay, we're using Ian's analogy or we're using your simple partner sales description, the channel. How would you explain Partner 360, that program this way?
I think what if I had to net out 360, right? We're gonna reward you more for being great at the things that you're already doing.
That was phenomenal.
So it's
Right.
like a
Perfect.
Trying to
rewards program.
yeah, trying to make it simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
All right.
a lot that goes into, but I think, that's ultimately what it is, right? If you're, the better you are as a partner of delivering the customer outcomes that your customers need, the better, set up for success with 360 you're going to be
Mhm.
in the long run.
There seems to be a lot of like misconceptions or hesitations. And I think Coogan's come in and done a great job
Yeah.
really actually like listening to partners and making changes in the time we've had for this. Is it that or is it like, hey, actually as we get educated and partners start learning more about the program, it's more of like they just had to change hurts and it's always going to hurt.
I think that's probably problem number 1 is a change is hard. Right? You're talking about, VIP, right? Our value incentive program, which is our flagship partner rebate program, has been in place for 25 years, 26 years. And there's been iterations to it and changes along the way, but the fundamental structure of the program is the same as it was 25 years ago. So partners know what to expect of it. They know how to leverage it. They know how to maximize. We talk about like how partners use rebates at the beginning. Like they know how to get every dollar out of VIP that they possibly can. And they don't know that yet with 360. So there's a lot of consternation around change, learning a new program. Um, on the surface, 360 is complex. There's more moving pieces and parts to it. We're measuring our partners differently. But when you have a conversation with a partner consistently across the board for the last 18 months, as we've learned more, they love the outcome of the program. I'm going to be rewarded for driving customer success. That's what they all do. And that's what
Right.
they all
Mhm.
are great at, right? And they're all of them in their own way. But I have never had an argument with a partner about the intention and the outcome of the program. Now, when we get into the math of it and how all the levers are pulled, we've all been working through that as the program has, been tweaked and changed based upon the partner feedback. But I think where we're at a place now where our partners understand, hey, there's two main buckets of this program. There's my capabilities, which I really always had before in terms of gold certification and my, kind of advanced collaboration specialization. We're measuring that a little bit differently. But now that they understand how they're being measured, they understand what they're starting to really get a handle on what levers to pull and why. And then so that's kind of like the left side of the program. You look at the right side, and it's all about customer engagement. The other two buckets are growth. And I've yet to meet a partner in my, 20 years of doing this that doesn't want to grow their business. So they all want to grow. And the customer engagement piece, and that's really the driving of the outcomes and the consumption of the technology. They all do that as well. So now once they understand like what boxes do I check over here to open up the levers over here, we're really in a place right now where I feel like a lot of the consternation, confusion, frustration is minimized. And that we're just in those last 7 days of checking the final boxes, putting the right things in place, doing the last trainings to maximize that score prior to official program launch. But it's gotten better over the past few months, and I think we're all ready for it to launch, for our partners to start seeing some real numbers and focusing on the right side of that bucket, the growth perspective here in the second half of the fiscal year.
I like it. I think it's funny because I feel like I've gone through it with our partners just because I'm a dumb marketing person who like doesn't like it was like when I first heard about it, I was like, it's a big change. And then like
Mhm.
from hearing you talk at events and hearing like that partner summit, like I've gotten like exposure therapy where I've like kind of started to figure it out. I'm like, I feel like I'm living the journey our partners are going through. I was like, man, I've been in the channel for 12 years. I thought I knew everything. And now we're going to DGI with marketing funding. And now we're doing, like I said, doing VIP, like all these changes that are like changing what I fundamentally knew about Cisco. And I've kind of come around on them where I'm now like, okay, I get it, guys.
I mean, I'm when 360 was launched at 2 partner summits ago, I remember walking out of the room going, man, like what is this gonna be? And as you learn more and you understand it, and the program team's done an awesome job of listening to partners and making changes, right? To make it, more attainable for everybody. It's just the pace of change has never been faster. But every program that I've seen change, you bring up DGI, everything's for the betterment of our partners, right? So at first, change is hard, and understanding the new process. When you look at, we're making it, we're rewarding our partners more in 360 for doing the things that they're already doing, right? We're using DGI to make it easier to invest in our partners, right? From a marketing and demand gen perspective, like those are all the things they've been asking for. We're just trying to find the right way to get there to meet all of the requirements that we have across the entirety of our partner stack in a way that everybody has an opportunity to consume these programs in the way that's best for them.
With
What is DGI?
demand gen
Demand
incentive.
generation and yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
That's
it's
helpful.
our new
Maybe
partner.
Ian can explain that one to you like a 5-year-old, because that's a marketing thing.
Yeah, Ian, do it.
It's our new partner marketing fund structure that is based around partners creating demand. So it's tiered out based on some PVI scoring that's tied to Cisco 360, but then they get incentivized for the number of leads that they provide around business creation.
So ScanSource provides the most amount of leads. They get the most amount of marketing dollars.
No.
Awesome. Perfect. I thought I was pretty close on that. Maybe you could try again.
Yeah. So like you're given like if you're at, let's say, Cat Enterprises is a partner. We're going to give you 40 grand this quarter, but we need you to submit 100 leads to get the 40 grand. You can do whatever you want to get us 100 leads. We're going to give you the 40 grand if you get the 100 lead or submit 100 leads to us.
Okay. So if they just have a
That's an
data.
oversimplification for the record, but
Okay, perfect.
yeah.
Then I don't think my next
I think that's
question's
what we're doing today,
applicable.
is oversimplifying everything that we're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
yeah.
Appreciate
Yep.
it.
I can't wait for these sound bites to be brought back up.
No, it's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be fantastic. A lot of partners ask us, like, why are you guys doing this, right? So we're changing our profitability program from really VIP to Cisco 360, changing our MDF process from whatever it was before to DGI. And oh, by the way, Kat, we're also changing all of our distributor profitability programs as well, kind of simultaneously. So there's this massive change happening. But when, from a partner perspective, those programs that we've had historically, they're hardware programs, right? They're for partners that sell switches and routers and wireless access points. And as we have moved to more software, we've kind of bolted on these software offers and tracks into VIP, and it's never, I think, perfectly clicked, right? So partners ask us why. Well, we're a different company than we were when the program started, and so we, at some point, it had to be torn down and rebuilt to build a program that meets the way customers and partners consume and the way we're selling now. And then I think when you layer on it, I do not want to get into, any detail on this because I'm certainly no expert. But when you layer in the Splunk integration and a whole new crop of software first and sometimes exclusive partners, we had to bring those partners into, the Cisco partner portfolio and programs as well. So I think it's never great to make a massive change, but with all those kind of stars aligning, this felt like the right time, I think, to do it. I'm bullish on how it's going to help us really accelerate and grow the software and life cycles, CX and all the things that go into not just selling a bunch of stuff, but really continuing the sales cycle over time with our partners and customers is really, I think, what Cisco 360 is built to reward.
Yeah, it is crazy to look back. Like I remember when I was at ScanSource and Cisco laid out like, hey, by 2024, whatever, we want to be like 30, 50, whatever it was, recurring revenue. And I remember like, okay, sure. We're at like 9% right now. Good
Well,
luck.
I remember when that happened, I was like, when the press release hit, I think on earnings call, I was with a partner, and the partner kind of gave me that look over his glasses, like, "You kidding me, man? Like, what are you guys trying to do here?" And here we are, right? 6, 7 years later, and we did it. And
Right.
it's not
I mean,
slowing
that's
down.
like seeing the numbers and thinking about where we were and like where the business was. It actually is kind of crazy to think about.
How fast it happened. Yeah, I wasn't. I was a little skeptical, right? Because at the time,
Was that
we had,
person Trent
get
Stokes,
a
by
little
the way?
techie here, but no, it was not. We had just tried to unsuccessfully unbundle software from a router, and the whole world thought we were crazy. That you guys, this is the end of Cisco. You can't be doing this, that, or the other thing. And then, EA started coming to fruition, and it really took off in a way that's truly impressive.
I have one more question, Kat, unless you have anything.
My final was, out of all the changes that are coming, what would you say you're most excited for you and your team?
So it's going to be a continued
The million phone
change.
calls, whatever they're gonna get.
Yeah, yeah. No, honestly, the thing that's been, I think, putting me in the best frame of mind about the previous 18 months and even just moving forward is, in our old programs, it was very much check these boxes, take these tests, you get these badges, right? As my team has worked with their partners over the past year and a half around 360 preparation, the things with customer success and what does that team look like at your organization? Managed services capabilities. What is your stack, your knock, your sock? What do these divisions side of your company look like? It's really opened up the conversations that my team's had with partners. It's brought us a lot closer to the partners where not that we weren't on great relationships and deeply involved, but those pieces of the business didn't necessarily impact their Cisco kind of profitability story. But now 360 with the changes that we've made, it's opened up to have a lot deeper conversations with our partners kind of across the business, meeting new executives, meeting new stakeholders, meeting new business owners inside of the organizations that will help us on all the things that we want to do moving forward. So for me, it's been the biggest success that I've seen, and I think will drive change just naturally, is being closer with our partners on all things related to their business, not just their kind of Cisco checklist.
That's awesome. What's yours, Ian?
I wish I went first. That was a much better way to end the show. Yeah, my last question, Steve. Is it 5 or 7.5? What
I
matters?
I think I think it depends, right? So, depends on the partner, right? And depends on their skill sets and capabilities. So, honest to goodness, right? Not every partner will have the ability to hit 7.5, and not every partner may want to do that based upon the commitments that are needed. But I think that if you truly have a unique technological expertise that is differentiated than most in your market, you should be driving for that 7.5 because I think the benefits will be there from a monetarily from a programmatic perspective, but also from a branding kind of reputation in the local markets. I'll end you with a quote, Ian, from a partner in a presentation we did at I think it was one of the first Spark events we did in Chicago last year. Regional partner managed by my team, not huge in terms of headcount, very, very, very good at Cisco security from a managed and resale perspective, and are continuing to invest in that. Partner raised his hand and he said, "Hey, here's what I love about this program. In the new metrics and the new motions, I now have the capability of being viewed and measured and looked at as Cisco and my customers in the exact same way as the biggest of the big, double quad CCIE gold partners, where in the old world, I never would have had the chance to be on the same footing." So I think if you're a partner out there listening to this, that's a direct quote from one of your peers that, if you're great at something, you have the opportunity to showcase that and be viewed as by some of the largest global partners in the world. And that's, I think, an advantage to 360 that we never would have had before.
Perfect.
That's incredible. All right. This was awesome. Thank you guys so
Thank
much.
you.
For
Bye,
having me.
y'all.
It's great seeing you guys, and then we'll talk soon.
If you like the episode, please rate, review, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Until next time.
Thank you for listening.